What's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. So I'm sure that you guys have had the same sad sorrow that I've had when I bought something and I'm like, damn, that was just stupid. However, today I want to show you guys the 6 best things that you guys can buy between the ages of 18 and 30. Now, that doesn't mean that that's not applicable to anyone over the age. I'm just saying it's most useful between those ages. These 6 purchases are all supposed to help you in the long term build wealth and then eventually one day have enough money that you don't know what to do with. Now, I put a lot of research and work into producing these videos and it really helps me out. And of course the channel, if you just lightly tap that like button, I beg you, please. Thank you. Jumping on to number 1, and I don't mean to sound cheesy whatsoever, but really invest in yourself. Spend money on yourself. And I'm not meaning spending any stupid money on yourself. I'm specifically talking about spending money on yourself that will help further your career. This means any books that you can buy to help further your career, any licenses or courses that you need to buy, investing in your own business, anything like that, investing in yourself. Now, I know this is a massive question that a lot of 50-year-olds don't even know the answer to, and what do they want to do with their life? But I highly recommend that you put the money into furthering something where you have a passion, you can see yourself doing it in the future, and you just thoroughly enjoy doing it. Your 20s are built for you just grinding and getting a good foundation, and then eventually once you get it up to a certain point, then it's just about maintaining and enjoying life. And of course, a high income can definitely help this process, so with investing in yourself, hopefully that can create some return on that investment and help increase your income over the years. Number 2, and this is, I guess, a physical purchase, and it's not as cheesy as the last one. This is a reliable used car. And the reason why I say this is because, 1, David Ramsey says that buying a new car is one of the stupidest things that you can do.
You people are idiots.
And it is a tool that you can use in the modern day. Me personally, my active job really demands that I have to have a car because I'm driving a lot. Without a reliable used car, I wouldn't be able to make the money that I do make. I highly suggest saving your money, pinching those pennies, and paying cash for the vehicle because financing is just going to kill you on the back end. For those younger viewers that might be watching this video, I promise you guys, save as much money as you can because buying your first car is just one of the most freeing things that you can do. And yes, that means get a beater, something that's cheap and reliable and will get you from point A to point B. This is not the time where you need to show off your ego or your pride because the money that you do save today from just buying that beater and using it there, and you invest the difference, of course, will eventually turn out to be a lot more money in the future. By you giving up the instant gratification of maybe driving around that really nice car that you want, in future years you might be able to turn that into a Ferrari by just waiting and letting that money compound. Definitely research the car that you are buying because the depreciation on these cars is very, very big, and if you can time the curve properly, you might not lose that much money on the depreciation. So you can buy it maybe at 100,000 miles, drive it for an extra 40,000, and then sell it at 140 and maybe only lose a couple grand here. Number 3 is not that glamorous, but I assure you that it can help you out a lot. And this is getting a good CPA that can really help you on any tax write-offs or tax advantages. Look, taxes are complicated, they're boring as hell to figure out, but it is quite interesting when you can find a loophole and save thousands and thousands of dollars. Again, this is all legal, no tax evasion, just tax avoidance. There are hundreds upon thousands of loopholes, and a lot of them are just up to interpretation, so definitely go and get a professional who researches these day in and day out. If you get a good CPA, in the worst case scenario, they will hopefully save the amount of money that you put into them. With a great scenario, they will hopefully save you more money than you're actually paying them, so it just makes sense. They can help you set up an S corp, maximize your deductions, and of course schedule depreciation, which can really help you on the long term. Remember, this is their job and this is their profession. This is what you're paying them to do to save you money. And as you get older and make more money, hopefully and ideally, they will be able to save you more and more money year in and year out. Number 4 is purchase equity. And equity meaning stocks and securities like that. If you guys have watched any of my previous videos, I highly recommend starting a Roth IRA on your 18th birthday. So every single dollar that you put into there is going to be tax-free money that you can take out after 59 and a half, which is just going to be sweet. This will allow it to grow until your 59th and a half birthday, completely tax-free. So all that time in between now and then, the money is just going to be compounding and then compounding, which makes money on money and then makes more money. And you guys always get the point. It's critical to start this as soon as possible because compounding's biggest variable is the time element, and if you have more time, you will make more money. As an example here, if you invest $1,000 on your 18th birthday and let that ride out at 7%, you can see the results here, and if you do the exact same thing except start on your 28th birthday, aka 10 years later, as you can see, you make significantly less money, so definitely take advantage of your time. And again, at younger ages, you're not making as much, so you're in a lower tax bracket, and again, this is all post-tax money, so you don't have to pay taxes on them again. So when you do take it out in the future, you're essentially paying a lower tax rate when you're putting it in, and no taxes when you're taking it out. This is what I did on my 18th birthday, and in this specific account, I like to just invest it completely into index funds and ETFs because it's just brainless investing where I know it will compound over time and give me a return from anywhere from 7 to 10% year over year. The biggest thing is buy and hold and just completely write that money off. Again, always invest the dividends right back into that account, but just don't even look at it, don't touch it. And I promise you, by the time that you can take it out, you will not believe how much money you have. Number 5 is real estate. And I know that the younger generation has a harder time investing and buying real estate just because of their shortness of their credit history. Of course, their lower incomes on average and all those different variables that will play into actually getting qualified to buy real estate. You can invest in real estate a bunch of different ways, such as putting down a down payment and then financing the rest. If you have enough cash and you find a depressed property, maybe you can just outright buy it. There are a ton of different ways, but you will need cash. If you do all the other steps properly, this will help you. And of course, I did make a video saying things specifically not to buy because you're wasting your money. Link in the description, and stay away from those because when you stay away from those, you have more cash in your pocket, which then you can put towards real estate. There has been multiple studies showing that home ownership really helps the average median net worth across all Americans. So definitely take that into consideration. And real estate has made the most millionaires in the world. So don't go and try to reinvent the wheel. Just do that because that's working for everyone else. And just think about it, by giving up that fancy car that you might want that might be $15,000 or $20,000 and putting it into real estate, yeah, on the short term, you might not look as cool, but who really cares? Because then in 20, 30 years, you will be sitting on a mound of cash and will be able to buy whatever the car you want. Real estate can make consistent cash flow and passive income where you can go to bed at night, wake up with a little bit more money in your pocket, and it's just amazing. It's like the tooth fairy comes every single night. And then I'm gonna call this one number 6, but it's really kind of a 5.5. And this would be buying a 2 to 4 unit property. And the reason why I'm saying 2 to 4 unit is because you can do house hacking, where you live in one unit and rent out the others, and the other units hopefully pay for the mortgage and a little bit more, where you can get free housing and make money and gain equity within the house. You don't want to go over 4 units because then it's considered commercial real estate, and then that has a ton more difficulties in that, and you can't really get as good at financing and such. You gain equity within the house, you have a ton of tax write-offs, and of course you have the appreciation of the house itself throughout the time. Housing is typically the most expensive bill that everyone has to pay per month, so if you can take that out and not have to pay that, that money can then be redirected into anything else that will actually make money. And yes, this is not necessarily easy because you have to get pre-qualified, you have to build up credit, you have to have length of credit, you have to have, a good amount of savings, and prove that you can pay these monthly payments consistently. You have to understand the market, find a deal, and manage tenants, which can all be a handful, but I promise you it can really work out in the long term. But this is noted to be the best way to get into real estate as soon as possible, and you can take advantages of a primary residence, which gives you a lower financing and a lower down payment. This is a nice change of pace on the channel because typically I'm just ranting at you guys saying like, don't buy this, don't buy this, don't buy this, that's stupid, stupid, stupid. But I definitely want to know and highlight these really good purchases that you guys can make. But again, it's all just very small steps consistently over time that will make you millions. Save as much of your income as you can by cutting back on stupid expenses like $5 coffee, a big fancy car, anything like that. That's dumb. These have all worked out for me very, very well so far, and of course the people that I admire, they all recommend this, and they're in a really good financial spot. It might seem scary at first, but if you break it up into small steps, it's not as scary, and remember, it won't happen overnight, so don't get stressed out that it doesn't just happen immediately. And of course, if you stayed till this point in the video, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.